Big up and bless up my people. Happy and healthy, prosperous 2025 and beyond. Hope it has started on the right note for everybody and continues on to just be health and wealth and prosperity in abundance. See? And as we move on, we're getting into, of course, as you see on the screen, the title, the triumphant return of the Worl Boss, the man himself, Vybz Kartel. And let me just drop these two disclaimers before we move further. This is not a show review. I'm gonna come for that done already. From YouTube to TikTok to IG, your favorite bloggers have dissected and reviewed this event to the T, and I believe at this point everybody has made their conclusion as to what it was, whether it was a flop or whether it was a great success. So I'm gonna really come for touch on that. We just come to have a big people intelligent reasoning on the return of Vybz Kartel, the impact and the notion that enough people are go around with right now that dancehall is back. See? And also, second disclaimer, this is an objective reasoning. This is just a split justice reasoning, straight down the middle. You know, this is not an anti-Gaza, anti-Vybz Kartel reasoning. This is just facts and dealing with things in reality as they are and as I see it. Of course, you may see differently, but I just want to let you know that this is a neutral reasoning where we just come for talk the things them and look at it for what they are. So, come make a reason now. Come in, make a reason, people. So yeah, first thing at the rollout, we see as on your screen the imagery. This was our introduction to the show as the press rollout began and the announcement was made that it would be December 31st. And the first thing that stuck out to me quite vividly was that Vybz Kartel, being a very deliberate person, a very intelligent hombre, used this graphic. And I'm not going to no debate with nobody at this point when it comes on to certain things. As they say, the woke, if you know, you know. That's for the woke. If you know, you know. As we see, I cover up. And if you don't know, you know, there's still people who are not in the know. I challenge you to just do your research, not only via Google. Go to the library, pick up some books. It's always good to read and gather some information so you can enlighten yourself on these subjects. But this was just a clear indication to me and to those in the know that Vybz Kartel, over 13 years, has been gone incarcerated, but still holds firm to certain ideologies and certain principles. Whether I'm tattoo God pan him forehead, pan him back, pan him shoulder, pan him hip, pan him foot, it's the same thing. Okay? And as I said, it's 2025. I'm not even gonna go there as far as trying to reason or trying to edify people who are unaware. I would just, like I said, do some research. Start with the Eye of Horus. If you just want to Google Eye of Horus and go from there. But that was the first thing that jumped out to me. And next thing, my concern, cause me not just forward from Clarks and straight jeans and ramping shop and them tune there. Me a forward from the beginning, from when Vybz Kartel are roll with Singer Blinger, from before there was Gaza as we know it, Portmore Empire, man like Craig Dennis, rest in peace. As I said, Singer Blinger, Nuclear, Doza Medicine, the original crew. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these new people are one of the, and there's nothing wrong with that because people pick up on and catch on to things at different times. So I don't want to make light of people who may have discovered Vybz Kartel's talent later on down the line, or the younger people who just came in the Vybz Kartel were just in grade school when Ramping Shop and Clark's and certain other tunes dropped. But I'm from the original Vybz Kartel, the darkest Addy, the spit bars at a crazy, crazy, crazy rate. Vybz Kartel, the one where people used to mock and jeer and say I've cartoon voice. Yeah, I was one of the youths on the radio station 2000. Let me be accurate in saying this. From 2000, I spin Vybz Kartel on the airwaves in the United States, and that was before the stardom, before anybody knew who he was. He had any acclaim to be Worl Boss or any of these things. So I just want to make that very clear too in my critique, so people have context around why I might say certain things that I might say. But the next thing that stood out to me was the man's health and the timing of the show, and I had concerns initially that maybe a 6 to 9 month period of just revitalization is needed for this man to gain back not only his mental health but his physical health, because we don't all know, but those who may have experienced incarceration knows that it is very, very taxing on the mental health, not only the physical health but the mental health as well. And so that was a main concern, the timing, giving him enough time so that he could be able to deliver a good performance. But I saw that was not necessarily interest of his fan base, number one, in the interest of himself or the interest of the promotions. It was more so money. And as you can see, what the fuck on the screen, this was the rollout for the ticket prices. Top tier, if you can't read it, Cycle Track, 10,000 USD, US dollars. Center Stage, 1,500 USD, US dollars. And that immediately jumped out to anybody that had sense, anybody that know about promotions, anybody that had a logical idea of market value and what's going on with the economy, what going on the ground with the people, them, the same poor people that Vybz Kartel say represent from day one. The same set of poor people them were rally theme and I say the man innocent, and I basically defend him from day one through all his legal problems, through all his personal problems that came into the public. I defend him right down to the ground. And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. The next thing that stood out to me was there was no corporate sponsorship, which is not very shocking considering the brand Vybz Kartel. But I knew that would probably be some sort of issue, because for those who don't understand event promotions, events of this magnitude are usually done with a lot of sponsorship, high corporate sponsorship backing. And a Guinness, a Grace Kennedy, Heineken, you name it, whatever it is, Red Stripe, Ray Nephews, we didn't see any of those brands attached to this event at all. So this was probably just Joe Bogdanovich, which is a vulture to say the least. And if you question that, just study his background, how Joe Bogdanovich got into the music business. I don't want to dwell upon that, but you can just go and do a little research. He started out in the United States managing a rock group. Rock group sampled or covered reggae. Record sold well, did very, very, very good numbers, and voila, his interest was turned on to reggae. And I don't want to go too deep into the racial and discriminatory aspects that we all know are present, because it's obvious, and I don't want to dwell too far off of the topic of Vybz Kartel, his return, this event, what it means to dancehall, if anything. and where we're at right now. So the tickets were astronomical. The nosebleed tickets are $150, and in the holiday season with crazy inflation and the economy in crazy recession worldwide, this would affect people that would travel in potentially to come and see the show, and people also locally, like I said before, the same poor people where Vybz Kartel same represent from day one. Those were the people who were being shut out. And then to make matters worse, he came out and made some very disparaging comments towards poor people. Basically, I said poor people broke and hungry and all of these things, and kind of almost making light of later bringing the ticket prices down, which obviously if they're selling there would be no need to discount or to provide anything free if you really didn't want to. But I believe once again the reality struck, and the market basically set the value and set what the prices would, what the customer or the consumer would be willing to pay. And of course they weren't buying the tickets, and by Black Friday they had to be reduced. And as we heard, a bag of tickets give away free before the show, prior to the show, and the show date itself. So that's why when people are talk online about show do better than Buju and stadium sellout, me just laugh, people. This is madness. These people are delusional. That show was nowhere near a sellout show. There was a great crowd, a decent crowd, more than a decent crowd. That was a great crowd, and what you would expect for Vybz Kartel and the artist of his caliber. But missed the mark by far as selling out, or in my estimation, or as the aerial drone images show us, the pictures, you can go online and see the pictures of Buju Banton's concert versus Vybz Kartel's concert, and the visual difference. From I clicked on the live stream and I looked, they tried to, I think the cameraman tried to mask it as well as possible, but I could see initially from the stream, from the turn on the stream, I could see that the stadium was not packed. It was obvious the crowd was not fully in attendance. It wasn't a fully it wasn't in full capacity that night, versus Buju Banton show that we could see it was standing room only. No debate on that. So, you know, as you see, Vybz Kartel, he came on the stage triumphant, did his thing. The show went on. At the end of the day, he's laughing to the bank. He got paid. I don't know if the promoters got paid. I really doubt that they made money. Maybe they did out of the back end of streaming, or they have some sort of licensing deal where they can repackage these shows and make some sort of money. Obviously, they if they had any sense, they would pay and make sure that it's contractually they have the rights, the copyrights to any type of rebroadcasting of the show itself. So I don't know how that'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could repackage it somewhere, and I don't want to say I almost threw an idea out there. I'm not giving no free ideas, but maybe there's some way that they have developed Scatter and Joe Bogdanovich a way to be able to rebroadcast or repackage this in some sort of way that can generate revenue, and which they can make more than what they collected off of the gate fee. And the next thing, people that hype online, not my hype, by the way, if anybody want to come after me, my hype is not clout, my hype is not riches, my hype is HYPE, help your people every day. That's my hype. So the hype people creating 18 private jets touchdown in one day. the whole of the world reached down. Every celebrity is down there, and this celebrity just posted this. This celebrity posted that. People cut it out. Stop it. Stop the cap. I'm not even gonna hold you. This was crazy. Yeah, sure, it was a good idea for marketing, and it looked good online where all the cloud surfers hang out. But the idea that Cardi B and Drake and whoever else they were, Beyonce and all these names, that celebrity names that people were throwing out there, were gonna come down on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day to see Vybz Kartel was a flipping joke. All right. First thing, people, it's Jamaica. During Christmas season, people are always flying in. Executives, politicians, dignitaries worldwide are flying to Jamaica them time of year. So it was no big deal that the airport was busy and people were flying in. Roads busy. That's gonna happen in Jamaica any Christmas, regardless if no one is performing. You don't need any international appearance for that to be the case in Jamaica during a holiday season. Alright, that's number one. Number two is these people are clout chasers. Okay? They don't care about reggae, they don't care about dancehall. Yes, they might listen to the music in their car, driving, post their TikTok or whatever, listening to their singing whoever song is hot at the time, but this is all for bridge current. This is all a clout surfing, clout chasing move. I bet, and I could bet my last dime, if Vybz Kartel had a song that was charting high in the Billboard charts, not the dancehall charts, in the US hip hop and R&B charts, or an album that was charting in the same position, somebody would have made their way over there to get a piece of that hype. The mere fact that Vybz Kartel released an album right after, or an EP right after coming from prison, and you could hear a pin drop, tells you the actual listenership and people that are actually in tune to the music versus the people who are into the hype, which is 95% of Vybz Kartel fan base at this time. Vybz Kartel's fan base went from those who, like myself, had the first four albums he dropped on vinyl, record, and CD, and can show you them to this day, to people who casually go on and maybe YouTube or Spotify, their free Spotify, and stream the music and do not purchase the music. Okay? And this is why you see what you see on your screen to close my argument as far as dancehall coming back and the ridiculous notion that a lot of people are making online that, oh, dancehall is back, Vybz Kartel I bring back dancehall, play it's nice again. Come on, people, let's be real. Let's be realistic right now. The music is not selling, right? Sound system culture is so close to flatline. Big up all who are keep it above ground right now and alive. And there are people that are doing a great job. But it was always underground. It is below the underground now. Alright? To where you may have 3 major events that may grab the entire diaspora's attention. But apart from that, sound system is almost non-existent and seen as almost like a joke thing, a clown thing right now, as far as in the diaspora. And I have news for you people. Many have said it, all the greats have said it. Without the sound system element, dancehall cannot peak. Alright? And I'm gonna get to my final closing argument that proves that. But until the government respects sound system and sound system can come out and play like how they used to play one time, until artists respect sound system Start charging them these ridiculous prices for dubplate. Start embrace the sound systems, work on the sound systems, learn stage performance by working with the and stage presence by working with the sound system so they can deliver more compelling and entertaining performances on stage that people actually want to pay money to see. Vybz Kartel's show at the end of the day was overpriced based on the value. However you want to cut it, whoever showed up, whoever didn't show up, it was overpriced based on the value. Simple as that. And people, in closing, I'm not tarry too long. I've said quite a bit on this topic. I just want to rest it right here with the highest selling dancehall albums ever. And yes, this is in the US, but the US is what matters. The US is where all the leading companies are. The US is where all the leading distributors are. The United States metrics is used to basically value an artist. Alright? So the highest selling albums by dancehall artists in the US of all time goes by, and I'll read them out in case you're busy, you're driving or whatever, and you can't see the screen or whatever, you don't have your glasses on, whatever the case is. Number 1, Hot Shot, Shaggy, released in 2000. Pay attention to the years. Number 2, Dirty Rock, Sean Paul, 2002. The Trinity, Sean Paul, 2005. Bombastic, Shaggy, 1995. As Raw as Ever, Shabba, 1991. Queen of the Pack, Patra, 1993. Extra Naked, Shabba, 1992. Lucky Day, Shaggy, 2002. Art and Life, we're gone now past the top 5 into the top and down to the last 10. Art of Life, 2000, Beanie Man. Dan Dada, Supercat, 1992. You mean to flipping tell me that no dancehall album, and the last year we have a 2005, the Trinity, Sean Paul. No album, it's 2025, in the last 20 years have surpassed this album. And big up Massacre, he delivered a spectacular album this past year that he didn't get nearly the credit that he should have gotten for it. And not to say that there aren't deserving artists. The music is not being distributed. The music is not being supported, both locally and abroad as well. The music is not, and a lot of that falls on promotion. That's another topic for another time. But my point stands as this. Nothing over the last 20 years has surpassed any of the aforementioned albums. Nothing in terms of sales within the US market, and that says a lot. And also, going back to my point with sound system, in that era, 2005, it's funny, 2005 is when, ironically, when World Clash started to pretty much fall apart, and we got the last niceness out of World Clash. Big up Irish and Shin. They've now reformulated and repackaged it into World Bash. It's not even a clash anymore. You see? I just some little corner clash are going. No ideas. See, now I'm big up the man them where I hold it, because they deserve a ton of respect and flowers for the work that they putting in on the ground to keep sound system culture alive. But it is not respected by the majority of the diaspora, and obviously if you don't respect what's yours, there's no way that anybody on the outside can respect it either. So it's just a trickle down effect, and dancehall, in my estimation, the numbers don't tell any lie. There's no sales. There's a lot of fake streaming numbers that are put up out there, but the bottom line is this. Only a handful of artists I eat right now. I make real money. Most artists are dead for hungry, and that's the reality of it. That is just the facts. So people, like I said, I'm not come for tarry too long. Just wanted to drop my ones and twos on this topic here, as of course from day one me I represent for Vybz Kartel, and through time I grew up, we're in the same age group. I grew up, and my outlook on the content of music that he chose to continue delivering was in alignment with my train of thought and my evolution. And so through time I stopped listening and stopped supporting as I did in the beginning. But as an icon, as I said, the king of dancehall returning, I had to come on and drop a word. Yeah, and last thing, people who claim to them love dancehall and love Vybz Kartel, a dancehall liar, or as I would say back in 1999, when me and my colleagues just a reason, a dancehall liar. Cause we did say dancehall only have three topics a discussion: weed, gun, and girl. See? And we did say the man them nah rise up the thing, them nah elevate the thing, them nah move like the foreign market, them nah wise up and learn about distribution and copyrights and all these things. You see me? So we start call it dancehall. But not challenge all out enough. Forgot go buy the man them album. Purchase the man them album. Stop stream up the people them things for free. And when your artist, your so-called artist, deliver an album, go out and purchase it. Alright? Boom.